All right, here we are in the messy Skittles garage. Supposed to do that over the summer, clean and organize all this stuff. I'm gonna do that probably over the winter, especially since I'm going to be making more car videos and no need to have a messy garage. But I have not driven the McLaren in over a week. She needs to go out today. So why don't we take her out and go see what the inventory looks like over at West Coast Exotics in Murrieta, California. All right, on the way there, I had a launch control success in the 570 GT, but filming it was a failure. I was, I don't know, 40, 50 yards from getting onto the freeway, and a woman didn't move even though the light turned green and then it turned red. So I went to the left of her, and this is what happened. All right, I have a charger to my left and a very slow lady to my right that made us miss the red light. And there's no problem missing the red light, but there was she just didn't go. She just didn't go. Probably distracted on her phone. There's gonna be a perfect opportunity to launch the car, which I haven't done. Tires are cold, so we might get a little bit of a burnout. And I've got about a few 10,000 yards I need to accelerate in front of her to be able to go over 2 lanes to get on the freeway. So let's see if we can time launch correctly to launch this car. Yeah, we did, but the phone wasn't secured. That was fun. Looks like they're highlighting a GTR today in front of West Coast Exotics. They've always got the Lambos, always got the Huracans. Looks like they've sold that one. So if you guys are looking again at this STO, you're too late, you're too slow. These are Performante over here. I am digging this new style of having forged carbon. After years of the regular wet and dry carbon weave, I'm kind of liking the change and seeing the forged carbon. I like the look. All right, the Evo. As the STO again, the rear of it. And just in case you didn't know, the firing order. All right, and this is my future car. I don't know if I wouldn't do the 765 LT. Once again, I like my McLarens to be more street friendly, but a 720 Spider or 750 Spider in the future will be in my garage. I'm hoping I can swing having one of these and, well, 720 or 750 Spider and still keep my GT. Maybe have his or hers. The 12Cs are coming down. Considered getting a 12C and modifying that, keeping the GT, the 570 GT stock. But Dan, my tech over at Exotic Specialty Services, says if I go from a 570 GT to a 12C, even though it has more performance and more performance potential because of the tech and other things, I'll probably feel like I'm actually taking a step backwards. But still, I like the 12C, but I'd rather have the 650 with the updated exterior. If you're not a McLaren person, let me just show you. In 2012 model year, McLaren started building cars. Obviously, they have the legendary F1, and they did the McLaren SLR with Mercedes, but as far as being their own manufacturer, this was the first one of 2012. And you can see the lights. And then when they upgraded this to the 650S. They saw the design language similar to my 570. The center seats. Cool. I don't know how they would do on a long distance. I do like the binnacle that flips from the 750, does on the 765 as well. From what I understand, they got rid of that in the 750. I think correct me down below if someone knows. I believe, like the Artura, the whole binnacle and everything moves to the steering wheel. So when the steering wheel moves, so does all of the information you need. GT3 RS, man, you have got to love. Even if you're not a Porsche fan, this car is a head snapper. And that wing. I do like this style we're seeing now, race-derived wing that is controlled and hinged from the top as opposed from the bottom. I am a fan of it as far as aesthetics is concerned, because I am not a racer. I am a street driver. That's why I bought the 570 GT over the 570S. From what I understand, there's not much difference in it, but just a little bit more street-friendly suspension. When I move up to the 720, I'm looking forward to that, because that suspension is supposed to be just all around great no matter what. Anyhow, we're talking about the Porsche GT3 RS. Love the colored green wheels. Love the livery on this bad boy. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, if the new GT3 RS isn't your style, here is the previous. They've got you covered on the GT3 RSs. Here is the 2019 GT3 RS. Great color. I'm a fan of this color. Similar to what I wrapped my BMW i8 in. And it's funny because I've thought about powder coating the wheels gold, at least on one side. Back in the day when I used to modify Saabs, I had a Saab that powder coated one side gold and the other side red. People thought it was crazy, but think about it. We live in a three-dimensional world, and until we live in a four-dimensional world, you can't see both sides of the car at the same time. Anyhow, gorgeous car. If you don't need the RS, GT3, 3.8. Gorgeous car. Very clean looking. Beautiful, clean looking car. Black Alcantara with the PDK. And then of course more Porsches. Awesome yellow, noir, and a gray. And let's go look now over at that Maserati. I believe I probably will own that in the future. I am a Maserati owner and a Maserati fan. And even though I'd much rather have a V8, this, I believe it's called the Neptune V6 twin turbo, seems to have incredible performance. And if I understand, like the 570 GT, the MC20 is a street car. I'm really big on GTs being GTs and sports cars being usable on the street. Those wheels, wow. Absolutely fabulous. I believe I saw this car here several months ago. I wonder if it's the same car. They didn't sell it. Maybe they have it as a demo and now they're trying to move it. Look at that interior. All right, for my American exotic fam, sale pending on this Viper ACR. I give mad respect to guys who race Vipers. That's a real race car driver right there. Akin to the old style. I'm not saying you're Sterling Moss or Bruce McLaren, but guys who can successfully drive a Dodge Viper on the track. That's a man's man when it comes to driving and racing talent. And then the car, when I remember when it came out, $150,000 for a Ford GT, even if it's mid-engine. Back then, that was what, 20 years ago or so. Back then, 20 years ago, I owned a Lotus Esprit Turbo, which I modified. Spent way less than that. And at one point, I was thinking, these might go up in value. Another woulda, shoulda, coulda. All right, talking to Dan, who's bought some cars here from West Coast Exotics, and man, look at this. Oh, man, these Hellcats. The wide body on these things, man, amazing. They don't handle, and it gets to a certain point where it doesn't even matter how much horsepower it gets because it doesn't hook up. But with the right exhaust, these things are freaking wicked looking, wicked sounding, and are fast. All right, then we got this beauty. Now I know a lot of people are Ferrari fans, but white's a good color. I don't know if I do red, so there you go. All right, I don't know if you're a Urus fan, but this is look, I'm not a big Urus fan, but last week, coming back from Knott's Berry Farm about 11:30 at night on the 91, going toward Corona, I was driving my Bentley, and honestly, this could smoke my Bentley. It wasn't a matter of who could win. It was just a friendly back and forth pull. And he had, actually I don't even know if it was a he or she. It was murdered out like this with tinted windows. Couldn't see who was driving it. But they obviously had some kind of tune that was with the bangs and pops. And my goodness gracious, it sounded so mean. And the pulls, it was a pleasure to watch something this big move that quickly. If these Lamborghini Uruses were like, 150,000, even 200,000, but man, when these things were like 300,000, I don't know if they're going for now. But man, I didn't get it. These are great looking cars, don't get me wrong, but it's got a 4-liter twin turbo V8, the same thing like in an Audi S8 RS7, Porsche. It's a great engine, but it's not like the Pura Sangue that Ferrari did with a V12 in it. It's not like a I'd go for the DBX, whatever the Aston Martin is, with the AMG engine in it. I don't know. I like these, but I just don't think they're worth. Obviously they're worth that if people are paying for it. As an economist, obviously things are worth what people pay for. But in my eyes, this seems like a lot of money. With the Audi version, was it the RSQ8? Anyway, I'm done here hanging out. Hunter came by and said hi. I didn't get him on camera though. Looks like he was scooting and skedaddling. All right, time to head back and get to work so we can buy more toys.